Are we waiting for something or we can start? Or what's the...
I think you can start. So
Okay, okay. Okay, so welcome everyone to the jamming session for the Nimbora Winter Hackathon. So in this session, we are going to introduce the Nimbora yield decks that allow anyone to bring Ethereum DeFi to Starknet. So the session will be divided into three parts. The first part will be like a small presentation of the yield decks, like a high-level view of what we've built. The second part will be hosted by Idir and will show you how to deploy your own version of the yield decks. And finally, I'll show how to build your own strategy and yeah, help you to build your own strategy and bring it to Starknet. So I'm gonna share my screen. If I can. Okay, can you see the screen?
yep. Yeah.
Awesome. So in the first time, how can we access layer 1 DeFi from Starknet? So we're using a concept called DeFi pooling. So the idea is to aggregate user requests on layer 2 and to later on handle those requests on the layer 1. So on layer 1, as you may know, there are many yield strategies that you can access. It can be a liquidity position on Uniswap. It can be just holding ST Ethereum that allow you to get exposed to staking rewards. There are also yield aggregators such as Yearn that allow you to earn yield on top of your crypto. So the idea here is to save the maximum of gas to access those layer 1 DeFi yields. So if we have a lot of requests from layer 2, so some user wants to deposit into a strategy and some other want to withdraw, we can like batch all of those requests into one big request on layer 1. That's called batching. That allows us to save a lot of gas. Like we will pay for only one transaction, a deposit of a withdrawal, but we had maybe in this transaction included more than hundreds of people that wanted to access the strategy. So yeah, aggregating user traction can help saving a lot of gas, and that's how we do DeFi pooling. So our yield decks allow also user to access yield without waiting layer 2 transaction validation on layer 1. So basically, people can directly mint a share of a Yearn strategy or Unis strategy on layer 2. They will get directly some share, and later on, these shares will increase in value once we execute user request on layer 1. So from a user perspective, it's totally synchronous. What they do is that they deposit, let's say, some ETH into a Nimbora strategy on layer 2, and they will directly receive some share representing their share into this yield. So that's synchronous. And what we build with our yield decks, in our yield decks, it's pretty modular. So people can just add their own strategy, and it's really easy to integrate into the yield decks. They just have to be like 60 to 100 lines of Solidity code, kind of strategy adapter, and we can add it to Nimbora yield decks, and then the strategy is directly accessible from Starknet. So so three important points. The first is gas efficient, so we can handle one transaction that came from multiple transactions. So if we have like 100 deposit and 50 withdraw on layer 2, we can transform all of those transactions into only one deposit and handle it on layer 1. And this will save a lot of gas, because yeah, it's only one transaction, but maybe hundreds of transactions happened on layer 2. The second interesting thing is that it's synchronous, so shares are directly emitted. We do not wait for the transaction to be handled on layer 1 to emit shares. The shares are directly emitted, and they will just increase in value later on. And it's modular, so anyone can add new strategies. And so how to get started? So this is the link that that is available in the Taken page. So you can head to this link or scan it with this QR code, and you'll access to the repo. Before going into the code, I will just explain you the main contracts. Just review the main contracts that compose the Yieldex. Okay, so this is layer 2 part. This is layer 1. Let's start with the layer 2. So we have a pooling manager, which plays like a central role into the Yieldex. His role is to make the intermediary between layer 1 through Starknet messaging and the different bridge, and the strategies that are deployed. So for each new strategy, a yield token, we will deploy 2 contracts through the factory. So we call the factory deploy new strategy. It will deploy two contracts. So the Nimbora yield token, which represent the share for the strategy. So this will be the token that you'll receive when you deposit Ethereum DAI or whatever into the desired strategy, and a token manager. So the token manager will be the entry point to mint, withdraw, or withdraw the token. And it will manage like accountability, report, and yeah. So this is for the layer 2 part. So when we will do periodical reports. So here the token manager will aggregate user requests. So a lot of deposit, a lot of withdrawal. And when we do a report, the pooling manager will loop over all of the available strategies and create requests for layer 1. So if there were more deposits, it will create a deposit request. If there were no deposit, neither no withdrawal, it will just ask the layer 1 to report the new net asset value held in layer 1 contract of the strategy. And if there are too much withdrawal, he will ask the layer 1 to withdraw some tokens of the concerned strategies. So on the layer 1, you have also the pooling manager will play kind of the similar role than layer 2. So he will receive requests from layer 2 that can be deposit, withdrawal, or simple report, and act accordingly. So calling the strategies. So if he had some deposit request on wrapped ST Ethereum, for example, it will ask the strategy adapter contract to deposit more, and will withdraw some Ethereum from the bridge, will wrap it, and will send it to a strategy. So more Ethereum are put in work to the yield. And so this is done for all of the strategies that have requests. And yeah, when it's done, the layer 1 will tell the layer 2, okay, I have executed all the requests that you asked, and these are the new net asset value of the layer 1. So yeah, and this report flow can be executed daily or once time each 2 days. And yeah, it will happen continually, and continually it will increase share price of the yield token. So that's it for the presentation. Now I'll give the lead to Idir, so he will go into the GitHub repository I shared, and yeah. So Idir, if you can share your screen and
yeah. Hello guys. So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so let me first pass the link inside the comment section. So guys, feel free to clone it. Okay. So yeah, so basically we already set up like this GitHub repo. It contains everything that you need to run your own like Nimbora Yieldx protocol. So there are like L1, L2 contracts, and also the off-chain services. So you will basically have access to all like different features of the Yieldx. So so basically, after you clone your repo, so you have to execute this command. So basically, we are using git modules. So you clone after executing this repo. So basically, all those different submodules are fetched for you. Okay. So here, what we have like off-chain and on-chain services. So let's start with on-chain. So we have L1 contracts. So for L1 contracts, it's simple hat like setup. So here you have all the L1 contracts. So same thing for L2. So it's Starknet. So the L2 contracts are written with Cairo. So basically everything also is set up here. So now to deploy your own the full protocol, so you have only to follow these README steps. Okay. So the first step is to duplicate this env.example file. Okay. You duplicate it, and then you need only to set those 5 different like environment variables for RPC nodes: L1 for Ethereum, L2 for Starknet, the L2 relay address. I will explain that later, and like the different like the L2 and L1 private key. Okay, so then so we have this setup deploy script. Okay, so it contains all the different steps, as I said, to deploy your contract. So I suggest to follow those steps. For example, this one, like cd inside the L1 repo and execute this script. Okay, really simple. So you have yarn, you execute your tests and deploy the L1 contracts. Okay, so we have like the pooling manager here. We have some more contracts when it's on testnet, and we have also deploying strategies, set up the strategies, grant roles. So basically, after executing this script, you should have like your L1 pooling manager, your mock contracts if it's on testnet, and also you set up an SDI strategy. So after that, so same thing, we have like a couple of comments here. So we set up the L2 contract, we deploy them, okay, and same thing for configuration. Okay, so this first script is for deploying L2 and L1 contracts. Okay, so let me only show you how we can do it. So let me quickly that. Yeah. Okay, so I have my .env set up, and then I execute this script, and basically it will start deploying everything you need, like the L1 and then the L2 contract. And then what we have is like this second script. So this one is related to the off-chain services. So same thing, it uses this .env file, and basically here what we have Docker Compose file. It contains different services like Postgres, GraphQL, and also Hasura. So basically you get access to all the indexed data. So because so we are indexing DL2 contracts. So it will be much more easier if you want to build your own UI. So you have access to all the events emitted inside the contracts. So yeah, same. So after the deployment is done, so you have only to execute this script, and like your off-chain relayer, so the service who is responsible to send reports, like execute reports on L1 and L2 will start, and it will automatically detect for you like reports when they reach L1, execute them, sleep, and continuously doing the same job. And when you are done, so yeah, there's this third script which allows you to clean up and stop all different services that are running. So yeah, I think yeah. So what I suggest is I suggest you to go through different README files inside those different repositories, because there are more details about what contracts does and different things. So I suggest you to go through them. Yeah, we have on L1, L2, and here inside the off-chain services. So yeah. So for deployment, it should take a couple of minutes to finish everything. So I think yeah, that's it on my side. If Sasha, you want to continue?
Yeah, sure. So thanks, Idir. So yeah, as you may have seen, it's very, very easy. You just have to run some SH file, and everything is set up automatically. So feel free to test, to use, and if you have any issues with this, just send us a message on Discord or whatever, and we'll be happy to help with this. Only thing you have to pay attention is for the indexing part. So as you may know, it's not instantly layer 2 ticks take some time to be validated on layer 1. So if you want to handle a report, you will have to wait some times before before the transaction get confirmed on layer 1. So yeah. Okay, so in this setup, it will deploy you the Yieldex with a pre-built strategy, which is SDAI. You are free to build your own strategy. So I will just share my screen to explain you how. Okay, can you see the screen? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so we have like a strategy-based contract that you will use. This is an abstract contract that you will use and override some method to build your own strategy. So it already contains a lot of functions that will make your life easier to build new strategies. So you have the initialization. This requires so the address of the pooling manager, the underlying token, and the yield token. So underlying token can be Ethereum or DAI, and the yield token is like SDAI, wrapped ST Ethereum, or whatever yield you want to include. So initialization, this is then under reports. So as I said before, you have 3 types of requests. When there are a lot of deposit requests on layer 2, it will result in one big deposit request on layer 1, and and we are going to deposit more underlying token to the strategies. So it works with action ID. If action ID is deposit, it will go to the deposit function that you will have to override. If it's a withdrawal, same idea. You will have to, if we go here and this is a function you have to override. If it's a report, it does nothing special except, reporting the net asset value. And yeah, that's it. So the net NAV is net asset value. It is the total amount of underlying that represents your holding in yield token. So they might have different type of yield. So for example, 1 ST Ethereum is pegged to Ethereum. So the conversion can be easy. But for example, some token for yield-bearing tokens, such as Yarn Vault or SDAI, there is like some calculation to make to convert the balance of yield token into underlying. So let's look at the saving DAI strategy. So for initialization, it will just here it will call the initialize strategy base as shown previously, and it will just make sure that the underlying you provided is the right DAI. So this is function from a saving DAI. For deposit, so LDAI is really simple. You don't have to worry about anything. It's a simple function, so you just have to deposit here the amount, and the receiver make sure it's the strategy address. Then for withdrawal, this is a bit more complex than deposit, but nothing too critical. So the idea here is that you want to withdraw a certain amount of underlying from the strategy, and maybe the strategy is not able to fulfill your request. Maybe I don't know. There was a drop in the share price of the strategy, so maybe the layer 2 requested the strategy to withdraw 1,000 of DAI, but the strategy has a total of 800 DAI after withdrawal. So you always need to make sure to manage case where the amount requested to withdraw is bigger than what the strategy is able to withdraw. So here we just check the what we can expect to withdraw and the total yield balance. And if and depending of this case, if we have enough assets, we just withdraw what needed. And if we don't have enough assets, we are just going to redeem the whole yield balance of the strategies. Then there are two more methods to override, which are underlying to yield and yield to underlying. These are just conversion. So SDAI is 4626 has a 4626 standard. So it's super easy. You just have to call for preview deposit or preview redeem. There is no anything to care about. You do not have loss. You do not have, I don't know, withdrawal fee or what. So this strategy is very simple, but it works well. We can check for Uniswap as well. So the Uniswap is a bit more complex. So for the initialization, you have like before the strategy-based initialization. This is some additional initialization. Sorry, you have to do to deal with Unis. Oops, sorry for this. To do with to work with Uniswap. So you have the router address, which will so this address is the entry point to perform trade. You have the factory, the pool address. So we make sure that the pool you requested indeed exists. And we do some approval. So the idea here to do approval now is that you don't want to, the goal of Nimbora is to save the maximum of gas. So here better than approving each time we are going to deposit or withdraw tokens. We just approve the maximum to the Uniswap router. So this can create some security issues, but since it's Uniswap router, it's something kind of trusted, so it's okay. Then we also install Chainlink. So here, since we are dealing with tokens that are traded on DEX, it means that we need to know the value, the price of the yield cannot be taken directly from the AMM because this can lead into several attacks. So we just take the price of the yield token through Chainlink. So for example, wrap ST Ethereum, you can query the what's the price through Uniswap, but maybe the pool is not needs to be arbitrage. Don't know the exact word for this, but maybe the pool has not the good equilibrium. So you need to call a Chainlink. So using Chainlink, when you're going to perform trade, so underlying token to yield token or yield token to underlying token, you're going to set a slippage, and this slippage is obtained with you can make sure you have the good price through Chainlink. So when you deposit, you are going to get so you have a deposit request of a certain amount. You get the price underlying to yield. So you get the expected yield amount you will get. So this is calculated with Chainlink. And you will get the amount out minimum. So this here, you just apply the slippage based on what Chainlink will give you. So here you make sure the trade you won't lose that much money in the trade, and yeah, this is what you want when depositing. Obviously, you want to save the maximum of token, and yeah. So then you just execute the swap. So here with UniV3, so you have to follow the interface of the concerned strategy. Here on UniV3, that's how we do. Token in, token out, the pool fee, the recipient. So always using this strategy. And yeah, here you control the slippage and you deposit. So yeah, for withdraw, it's a similar logic that what we saw later. We need to manage the case where we cannot withdraw as much token as it was requested. And yeah, so here deposit and withdraw are the two methods you need to override, and you also need to override those two methods. And yeah, this is just yeah, specific stuff to this strategy using Chainlink. And so if you want to build your own strategy, the right way to do it is to check the docs of the concert strategy. So if it's AAV, if you want to have a strategy that is just supplying tokens on AAV pool, you need to pay attention to some potential fees, to how you convert yield token into underlying token. You need to get the interface of the strategy, so you know how to deposit and withdraw from the strategy. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, one more thing. When so it can happen that, for example, on the Uniswap strategy, the slippage is reached. So you're asking the strategy to perform a swap and you need and you say, okay, I have this slippage amount, and if it goes below, if the transaction does not pass, like, it's okay, it will revert, and it will send to layer 2, okay, this transaction revert, and it will just try to do it again on next report. So yeah, if a transaction reverts, not a problem. It can happen if the the price is not good enough while in the trade, and this is okay. This is a normal situation. So yeah, feel free to explore whatever yield. So you can explore lending and borrowing protocol, yield aggregators, AMM, so providing liquidity, also restaking protocols. So we have anything that can generate yield. You could basically bring it to Starknet by writing 60. Uniswap is a bit bigger, but for that it's just 50 lines of code. So you just override the strategy base, you build your strategy, you register the strategy into the pooling manager, and then on layer 2 you do not have any additional Cairo code to develop. You just need to call the factory, deploy your strategy, and the code is generic. It's the same code for any strategy, whether it's LP position, yield aggregator, it has different underlying, it's the same code. So the only thing you have to worry about is this contract overriding strategy base. So yeah. That's it for me. I don't know if there are some questions or if we can, how can we get user questions, chat? Okay. Thanks. Yeah, so much thing to build. So possibilities are endless. You can literally bring the whole Ethereum DeFi on Starknet. And what's interesting with this Yildex is that it scales a lot with strategies. So if you bring like if you register two strategies that are using the same underlying, so Ethereum, when we are going to communicate between layer 2 and layer 1, like we will bridge only one time Ethereum. So we set gas on this. Also for the messaging, we are better than sending like an array of a lot of data. What we do is that we hash the data always. So we just send the hash. So one strategy or thousands of strategy, we spend the same amount of gas for the layer 1 and layer 2 communication. So that's really interesting. And in the same idea, we pay only one time the bridge for strategies sharing the same underlying tokens. If you have any questions, some blockers, whatever, feel free to reach out in the Discord. So the Discord is in the chat. Yes. Feel free to ask whatever. So yeah. So yeah. Also, we are going to publish a new version of the more optimized, more clean version of this Nimbora hackathon. So will probably happen next week. So follow us on Twitter, on Discord. We will let you know when it's ready. So it's just about, it's the same idea, but just bringing some optimization in gas, especially on layer 1, because that's the pain point. Like layer 2 is important, but what is really expensive is layer 1. So it's here we need to really to make the maximum to save gas. So yeah, we'll share it with you as soon as possible. That's it. I don't know if Idir, you have additional things to say, but I think we are done.
I think we are done. So yeah, thank you for presentation. So it was, I think, informative and clear for all of you guys. So yeah, feel free guys to I don't know, reach out on Nimbora Discord. So yeah, there's a lot of discussions there. So feel free like to add comments, like suggestions to improve, or anything you see that can be of course, approve it. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you guys, and yeah, have a nice day.
Thanks a lot. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.